The NFL free agency signing period officially kicked off today, but the big news of the day had nothing to do with free agent signings, although there were a ton of them. The big news of the day was trades. The biggest trade of the day happened between the Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles, both sending starting quarterbacks Nick Foles and Sam Bradford. Rams acquired Nick Foles, a 2015 draft, 4th rounder from the Eagles, and a 2016 2nd rounder from the Eagles. The Eagles get Sam Bradford in return, plus a 2015 4th rounder. Now where it gets a little confusing is on the Bradford end of the deal. If he starts less than 8 games next year, the Eagles will get a 4th rounder back in 2016. If he gets hurt, the Eagles get a 3rd rounder back in 2016. Lots of stories going back and forth all day long, people speculating on what the draft pick compensation was going to be for both teams, but it's finally figured out, it's dialed in. From the Rams standpoint, this is a great deal. The Eagles bailed them out of salary cap hell. The difference between Sam Bradford's contract and Nick Foles is about $12 million, talking to 13 versus a 1.52. From the Eagles standpoint, I'm not sure if it makes a ton of sense, other than the fact that maybe the Eagles see Bradford's upside, if healthy, big if, as higher than Nick Foles. There was definitely a disconnect between Chip Kelly and Nick Foles. Not sure where it was or why it happened, but clearly Kelly did not want Foles to be his guy going forward. My opinion, I'm not sure if Sam Bradford ever plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this was a backup kind of contingency plan by Chip Kelly in the event he cannot move up to get Marcus Mariota. There's some speculation that the Browns or some other teams want Bradford, and the Eagles went and acquired Bradford in order to move up again to get Mariota. The Chip Kelly wheel keeps spinning. Not sure what he's doing. Earlier today I said it's a 12-step program for Chip to reunite with Marcus Mariota. That remains to be seen, but on the surface today, this trade does not make a whole lot of sense from the Eagles standpoint. You have a quarterback that's coming off back-to-back ACL injuries, and quite frankly, even before that, it wasn't really proven that he was a franchise quarterback to begin with. I've said in the past about Nick Foles is he's not special. He's not a franchise quarterback, but at the very least, he is a starting-level NFL quarterback, and he is good enough to make you a playoff team. On the Eagles side of things, I think they lost this trade on the surface, unless the end game is what Chip really wants, and that's Marcus Mariota. Now, if you're the St. Louis Rams, no matter what, you get a 2016 2nd-round pick from the Philadelphia Eagles. Huge value. And you have Nick Foles on the cheap. You have a $1 million one-year window to try out Nick Foles and see if he is your quarterback going forward. If Foles has an outstanding year, on a prove-it year, then the Rams are set at quarterback, and they can still build other pieces in this year's draft to build around and improve their team. The second big trade of the day happened between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. The Saints send all-pro, all-world tight end Jimmy Graham and a 4th rounder this year to the Seahawks for center Max Unger and a 1st-round pick this year. The Seahawks here got the better end of the deal. They get one of the best red zone threats in the NFL, hands down, and Russell Wilson finally has a legit number 1 to throw to. This elevates wide receivers like Kearse, Baldwin to a whole nother level. Those guys don't have to carry the load. With the return of Marshawn Lynch, Seattle had an amazing offseason thus far. They lost Byron Maxwell in free agency to the Philadelphia Eagles. However, they brought in Eagles cornerback Kerry Williams. Not as good as Maxwell, but in Seattle's secondary defense, not sure he has to be. Kerry Williams is a good number 2 cornerback on a team that is surrounded by the amount of talent that Seattle has. Seattle gives up on center Max Unger, one of the better centers in the NFL. I think he's 28 years old, and they part with a 1st-round pick, but when you're as good as Seattle, that's essentially a 2nd-round pick. If you're Seattle, that 1st-round pick wasn't going to bring back the kind of value that Jimmy Graham brings to you immediately. And Seattle's not necessarily looking for the future. They're in win-now mode, looking for another Super Bowl. The third trade of the day, the Baltimore Ravens send Haloti Ngata to the Detroit Lions for a 4th and 5th-round pick in this year's draft. I think the Lions won this one from the standpoint that Ngata will count 8.5 against the cap this year versus the Ndamukong Suh number of $17 million. If you're Detroit, you get equal production, while not the same. Suh is on a different level than Ngata, but the difference isn't that far. It's not $9 million separation, and it allows Detroit to fill other holes of need going forward. I'll be back as free agency continues, ongoing Chip Kelly soap opera that is going on in Philadelphia. I'll probably have another trade update. Who knows? I have a feeling like I'll be letting you know that Marcus Mariota will be a Philadelphia Eagle here soon. Obviously, we've got to wait till draft day for that to play out. Keep checking back here. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time.